is from our friend Jack.
Yeah.
Why is the Torah observant lifestyle so full of restrictions? What's so spiritual about that?
So this is a very fundamental question.
Yeah.
It's a very fundamental question. I would say the question is really, if the Torah wants, if the ultimate objective is that a person should live an enlarged life, with moichen de gadlus, with expansive mind, with gadlus amoichen, with expansiveness. In Yiddish it's called with breitkeit, with openness, and just a complete openness to everything in this world. The person should be open and giving and loving and embracing, vertically and horizontally. This just high and wide. Like Adam Rishon is like the Chazal, our sages say in the beginning of creation, that Adam is stretched from one end of the earth to the other, and from side to side, from top to bottom, which means that that was the expansiveness of self. So if that's the intention, so why so much restriction? Why do you keep on putting restrictions? Why did I put so many restrictions? So the Torah actually said that Chazal, the sages say that Ratzon Kadosh Baruch Hu l'zakas Yisrael. Hashem wanted to refine us, to bring us to that place. So I would say the image of this idea, don't understand why it's this way. Think about this in terms of a creative person. Let's say a person wants to create art. They have an expression that they want to share their art. They want to express their art. In order for their art to be to have some type of form to be appreciated, you need to have a canvas. If you're a fine artist, you need a canvas. You need a certain measurement of that canvas. And then in that space that you carved out, you carve out a certain particular finite conceptual or literal space. And then you pour out your creativity. So the creativity, there's almost a process of a tzimtzum, a contraction, that allows for the expansion of the creativity. Creativity that doesn't have the tzimtzum element, the contraction element first, the restriction element first, is chaos. Let's say, for example, another example, let's say in music, because you're a musician, so we use it in music. So music is the soul wanting to express itself, let's say on a very deep level. You need to express you have a note or a song that has to be expressed. Essentially, the music was composed, certainly in more ancient times, in times of the base of English, times of the temple, was the Levim, the Levites, the Levi. And Levi is Gevura. Levi is the sphere, the element that's correct, the Gevura. So you would think that music would be composed by people that are just expressive, chesed, a lot of just chesed, just open up. But it's the tzimtzum, it's the contraction, the holding back, the withdrawal, the restraining that allows for the movement, for the growth. It's almost like, if you have to pull back. Let's say if you use like a slingshot or something, or a slinky, I don't know, there could be 1,000 different images. There you go. Or I would say even more, the strings of the guitar you have to tighten. You need to tighten it. You need to create a tzimtzum, a contraction, in order to actually to play the chords correctly. So the tzimtzum, the expression, the infinite expression of the musical outburst has to come within a context of a tzimtzum, a context of, in order to be a healthy expression, without actually just leaking out and having no real inherent structure. So the structure, the forcing of structure, allows for the expression to be correctly. If you think about this on a very deep level, since we're created in an inverse image of the Creator, we're created Mitzvahs, but we're created as a creation versus the Creator. In order for the creator, the infinite creator, to, to be creative, there was a tzimtzum, there was a contraction, and the contraction allowed for the creation story to unfold. Because without the contraction, it's just infinity. So the contraction allowed for the creativity. In our inverse image of that, our contraction, kaviyachol, just like Hashem's infinity contracted itself to reveal finitude, our contraction, our tzimtzum, allows for the expression of infinity. Precisely the tzimtzum, the contraction, when I'm restricting, I'm opening myself up, that when it opens up, it will expand in an infinite way, in a healthy, in a creative, and in a productive way. So it's sort of like I'm fine-tuning the guitar to get it to that perfect pitch, that then I can just riff on the guitar and express it. So the fine-tuning is the gevura. The gevura itself, the constriction, is the tzimtzum, the contraction, that allows for the full expression. So ultimately, the paradigm that we're desiring to get to that point is where we can just fully emote, just fully express, just fully be, and be infinite in this world. But the tool to be infinite, this is the paradoxical nature of man, that the tool to be expressed infinitely is precisely through the practice of tzimtzum. And if you could think about something like on a psychological level, if, let's say, a person, eats whatever they want, whenever they're hungry, whatever they want. On one hand, you could say that's, wow, the person has no tzimtzum, no contractions, no limitations, no constrictions, and the person's free. They can eat whatever they want. But a person that eats whatever they want, whenever they want, ends up nauseous, ends up with a stomachache. And the person, we're not even talking about already mitzvahs, it's just a concept. When a person takes control and says, I don't eat whatever I want, I eat whatever I should have, not whatever I want. I'm controlling myself. I don't eat whenever I want. I have certain times that I eat. By practicing the tzimtzum, you're drawing out even deeper resources of who you actually are in this world. Because either you're just a free bird like a rabbit running around, which is fine for a rabbit. But if you want to be higher, the tzimtzum allows you to, the contraction allows you to show yourself that you're much bigger than just a rabbit eating whatever it wants. So the tzimtzum, the contractions and the limitations, is the way we fine-tune our own spirituality that allows for a full, healthy expression of our bigger self. So this is the way we're hardwired. Both in the world of creativity, the tzimtzum allows for that. You have to sit down and write the notes. You have to sit down and paint the painting. And the more tzimtzum you practice, this is the paradoxical nature of this. The more tzimtzum you practice, the more constriction you practice, the more expressive you can be. Because sort of the expression has a way to express itself in a correct manner. If you sit down and you say, I'm going to compose music, whatever and whenever, and you're never going to compose. Nothing's going to come. But if you say, I'm sitting down now, in front of a guitar, in front of a piano, and I'm just going to do it. And you force yourself to a certain structure. And I'm not saying creativity comes in other places as well. You can have that. But the general creative outlet of revealing your infinite potential of who you are is the koyach tzimtzum, the power of the tzimtzum. The power of the tzimtzum brings out your infinity, both on a psychological level and also on a spiritual level. And this is what the Torah is saying. The Torah is saying is we need to get you to a point where you're going to be going to be able. I don't know why we're using this image, but let's say you're playing guitar. I don't even know if I know what I'm saying, but let's say you're able to play jazz or some I don't know what it's called, but like to jam, to solo, but like for an hour, just like to just really get into a trance state and really do this.
Improvisation.
Yeah, improvisation, but like to do that, if anyone just picks the guitar and does that, he'll never do it. It's the person that practices the tzimtzum and the practice and the fine tuning and the discipline and control. That's the person when you finally give them an opportunity to let loose, they can let loose in a very creative way. And that's really, when we think about it on a spiritual level, this is really the way we're thinking about mitzvahs. That, of course, on one level, Hashem decides the mitzvahs and whatever. That's Hashem's reasons. But if we want to understand it in terms of das tach and the way we understand it, is this is what it's about. This is the way we can actually be free in the world. Because eating everything that we see and engaging in every single desire that we have is not freeing. It appears to be freeing.
Could be enslaving.
It's actually enslaving. This is what, if you look at it, you look at the Torah speaks about. They say we remember the bread that we ate for free. What do you mean they ate for free? They were slaves.
Right.
But when you're in a slave mentality and everything seems free and easy, of course it's hard labor, but they don't work for there's no correlation between the work and their result. It's free, but it's not freedom. For free is not freedom. Freedom is founded on tzimtzum. Freedom is founded on discipline, on order, on structure, and in the context of fine-tuning, in the context of the discipline, and in the context of the gevura, of the restriction, the explosion of the creativity, and really the expression of infinity. So this is like the inverse of we're hardwired this way, to be this way, and this is important to understand how we, what we're doing, what's the process, because we're aiming to live with dveikos, to live with connectivity, to feel Hashem's presence, to be in the place of moichin the godless, to be in that great place, an expansive place. But to do that in a way that we can sit and improvise for like 5 hours, because we fine-tuned ourselves in a way that made us bigger and in control. Therefore, we can produce beautiful music.
So if I'm understanding correctly, we, through these limitations, we're able to then channel our limitlessness.
Correct. That's exactly through our limitations, through self-imposed limitations or divine imposed, but through accepting that the limitation that exactly, through committing to that. You think about this in a marriage. It's all over. It's ambiguous. This is the way life is. You want to really feel love, you have to be committed to one person, and then love that one person. And of course, your wife, your children, and the whole world. But that's the way it starts. If a person says, "I love everybody," they mean they don't love nobody. I don't have any boundaries means you're nothing. I'm all creative, then you're not creative. There's the tzimtzum allows for the fullness of the self to be expressed. So yes. The limitation, the contraction. This is the way we're created in the inverse image of the Creator, which means we have a part of the Creator that's infinite within us, but we're created as finite. And the tzimtzum allows for the constriction of the control, which allows them for the fullness to be revealed. A true loving person is a person that loves his wife, loves her husband, that's the true love. And then the love expands. But like I say, if a person says, I love the world, I love everybody, no, you don't love anyone. Maybe yourself. But if I say, I'm committed to one person, and it's hard maybe, and it's difficult, but I'm committed to that person, to love them, to be committed to them, then you can feel love in your life, true love. And then love will expand. It's with every emotion, with every mental, emotional, spiritual emotion. That's the way it is. It's the koyach tzimtzum, the power of the constriction. This is why tzimtzum comes from the highest place. This is why tzimtzum, the constriction, gevuras come from the highest place of atik. I mean, this is in Kabbalistic language. That's the pure taino, the pure pleasure really comes from that place of that tzimtzum, of that contraction.